If you work with modern authentication, then you've came across JWTs. They're literally everywhere. Then once you start digging a little deeper, all of a sudden you're swimming in alphabet soup. JWS, JWE, JWK, JOSE. So the first acronym that we'll talk about is JOSE. JOSE stands for JSON Object Signing and Encryption. JOSE, or even Jose if you want to keep it short, isn't a tool or something you download or install, but it's the actual framework itself. So to explain it, let's stop thinking about code a little bit and start thinking about a shipping company. Think of Jose as the entire shipping company, the framework, a collection of IETF standards designed to securely transfer claims between parties. It doesn't represent a single box or a key within the shipping company, but the entire logistics. It defines how to create signed messages, that's JWS, encrypted messages, that's JWE, the keys to use, JWK, and the algorithms that are allowed, JWA. Now let's look at the containers within the shipping company. So first we'll start off with JWS, which stands for JSON Web Signature. In code, JWS usually looks like a long string with 3 parts that are separated by dots. This is called compact serialization. The first part is the header, which includes metadata about the signature, like the algorithm that was used to sign it. The second part is the payload, which is the claims that are being sent. And the third part is the signature. The signature is created by encoding the header and the payload with a secret key. To understand this, think of it as a clear envelope that has a tamper-proof wax seal. Anyone can see inside of it because it's not encrypted, but the signature is what proves its integrity. Even if one character within a payload changes, the seal is broken, and that way you know that the message was tampered with. Now you might be asking, well, what if I do need to keep secrets? And of course, there's an acronym for that. JWE, JSON Web Encryption. This is the lock the box, and in code, it's a much longer string than the JWS. The JWE is made up of 5 parts, so let's break them down. First, we have the header, which describes the encryption algorithms. Second is the encrypted key. This is the key to use to lock the payload, which itself is encrypted so only the recipient can use it. Third is the initialization vector. This is a random value to make sure that the encryption is unique. Fourth is the ciphertext. This is the actual secret message, which is now unreadable because the payload is encrypted. And finally, we have the authentication tag. That's a check to make sure that the box has not been tampered with. Unlike JWS, which just signs the data, JWE turns the payload into unreadable ciphertext. The courier can't see what's inside. Only the person with the correct key can open it and see what's inside. That ensures confidentiality. Next, we're going to talk about some tools. Every shipping company needs tools, right? Kind of what puts everything together. That's where JWA and JWK come in. JWA, JSON Web Algorithms, is the rulebook. It tells us which algorithm to use to seal the lockbox or seal the envelope. JWK, JSON Web Key, allows us to represent keys as JSON objects. Instead of dealing with file formats like PM or DER, a JW key lets you describe a key with simple fields like KTY for a key type, USE for how it should be used, or KID for the key ID. But usually you don't have one key. So since when you're dealing with multiple keys, of course you need another acronym. That's when you need JWKS, which stands for JSON Web Key Set. And JWKS is just a standard way to wrap multiple JWKs into one JSON object. Its main job is to hold an array called keys. This is super common in the real world. Auth0 provides a JWKS endpoint for each tenant. Your app checks this endpoint to dynamically fetch the public keys it needs to verify tokens. So even if the keys change, your app stays up to date automatically. Finally, the celebrity of the group arrives. And yes, we're talking about JWT, JSON Web Token. Spoiler alert, JWT isn't really a separate tool from the rest of the others. It's a specific type of payload. It's a standardized letter that goes into the JWS envelope or the JWE lockbox. The JWT standard defines a compact way to represent information using claims. Standard claims includes ISS, which is the issuer, which is the person who sent it. Then sub, which is the subject or who the information is about. Auth, which is for the audience. Who is this payload for? And exp is when it expires. You may have heard some people use JWT or JWS interchangeably. Is that correct? Mostly yes. A JWT is just a set of claims. To be useful, it must be transmitted securely. So when you sign a JWT payload, it is technically a JWS. That's usually what we pass around. If it becomes encrypted, then it's a JWE. You can even have a nested JWT, where you sign the payload, that creates a JWS, and then put that inside the encrypted box, and now you have a JWE. A final technical note, while JWS and JWE objects can be written as big JSON objects, a JWT must always use compact serialization, which is the long string which is separated by dots that we talked about earlier. That makes them safe to pass around in URLs. So, to recap, JOSC is the shipping company. It's the framework. It's a set of standards that tells you everything works. JWS and JWE are the containers. They're what we put the information inside of. JWA and JWK are the tools. They're how we know how things work together and are put together. And JWT, that's just the message that goes inside. Glad that helped clear up any confusion. If you want to read more about this topic, you can check out the link to the blog post this video is based on in the description. And keep your eye out for more identity videos from this channel. My name is Will Johnson, Senior Developer Advocate at Auth0, and I will see you next time.